focus on the December 1st, 2022 delivery of the first decent-sized batch of vehicles to Frito-Lay for the Semi, and we also focus on the recent BBB upgrade for Tesla. This is Greg for Teslafaninsight. Thanks once again for joining us. If this is your first time, welcome. If you're a repeat visitor, welcome back. We also want to thank our Patreon supporters. Your support is greatly appreciated. And without it, the channel is not viable, and hence we appreciate that. We also are used to doing shows, particularly on the Semi, with certain gaps, but Elon tweeting that the vehicle will be delivered as of the December 1, 2022 is an important moment. There are a number of sort of strange questions that go with the Semi's arrival. The first one is that last week we actually showed you photos of the Semi being tested and worked with at Pepsi in California. So given that they have at least 2, perhaps 5 of those vehicles currently, it sort of brings up a question of, is it one of the, what's the difference between a consumer delivery and a large commercial customer delivery? So currently Tesla's stated order with Pepsi is for 130 vehicles. Now, what tends to happen with large fleets is that those the fleet vehicles are on typically 3-year leases. So those vehicles tend to go theoretically 100,000 miles a year, and then they're cycled out systematically. So fleet buyers kind of operate different than regular customers. So it's not a situation where you simply go down to the dealership, buy the truck today, and then put it into action, especially with the Tesla Semi. As you've seen, Pepsi's facilities include currently 4 mega chargers specifically designed for the Semi. And the Pepsi repair people have been trained on the Semi because we actually have photos of them working with the vehicle already. So it sort of brings up the question, why are we delaying until the 31st? Why not just, or the 1st of December, why not just give them their vehicles now and be done with it? So I have a number of strange questions to present to you that are out there that we're going to get the answer to, but those answers sort of build up to a lot of other solutions. The first one is what I just described. Pepsi's been in discussion and training with Tesla for the last basically 2.5 years after their orders. The photos suggest that they already have their mega chargers, and they have several copies of the Semi that they've been working, testing, using thus far. So everything looks like a go, and it seems sort of artificial for us to wait until December 31st or 1st, because Pepsi already has vehicles delivered, and the technicians have been trained on the vehicle, and they're currently managing the vehicles. So I think that's terrific. The second question is, how many vehicles is Tesla going to be producing out of the current production facility in Reno? Answer, well, we think that at least 100 vehicles a month makes sense in terms of break even, because you actually have to have both facilities and personnel trained to put these vehicles together. Now, it is beneficial that it's near Reno, and you can cross-train people between assignments that they might have in Reno at the Gigafactory combined with what they were doing at the production facility. The next piece of data that comes up is that I believe Electric had a story out regarding Tesla actually recruiting technicians that would be working on the Semi. Now, I think it's great that there's a plan for how the vehicles will be serviced, but the question that comes up is why, well, almost all of the current customers of size that are going to get this vehicle have their own maintenance facilities for trucks. So once those individuals are trained and they get the parts from Tesla, the repair work is primarily going to be in-house for these vehicles. So I found it strange that we would have Tesla seeking to train a service technician group to service trucks when in fact, that training is going to happen and it's going to be done primarily in-house by these customers, which is actually a really great deal for Tesla because they don't have to pay, train, and maintain people in this situation. I believe what this suggests is that Tesla's actually planning on building a lot of trucks instead of the 100 a week, 400 or 500 a month plan. It sounds like they're planning on thousands of trucks per year, perhaps, 1,000 or two a month is a possibility. So therefore, if that's the case, the larger fleets will have their technicians trained to manage the trucks internally, and the smaller fleets or individuals are where you're going to find service techs needed, much like how the cars are serviced currently. So I believe the recruiting of all these techs suggests that Tesla is planning to sort of ramp to a nice number of production trucks fairly soon, and therefore the need to hire and train repair people that would go with those trucks. So the next question is, how is the trucks going to hit Tesla's revenue and profit, and therefore potentially hit the stock? Well, the answer that we're coming up with is, it's great that Tesla is getting this done now, but the challenge is the car business is so big at, 350,000 vehicles a quarter at least times 4. So the addition of perhaps initially 1,000 trucks a month should be a relatively no big deal. The one issue though with this assessment is that when we get to the earnings and Elon is asked questions about what the ramp plan is in terms of potential numbers regarding the Semi, if in fact they start talking about 5,000 or 10,000 vehicles a month being produced, we all of a sudden have a revenue line item that will actually be big enough to materially add to Tesla's revenue and profit, and therefore give the stock a nice boost in the process. So stay tuned for what the answers are coming up along with the earnings announcement this month to find out more about this. And then finally, we wanted to say on the Semi, congratulations. This is awesome news. It's nice to see the vehicles get out there. As Elon articulated, 25% of the pollution that we have comes from large big rigs. So having these vehicles finally hit the road is terrific news, and we're glad to see it. In the department of sort of strange questions, one other strange question from Tesla and Elon is the fact that there has been a stop to the number of orders that Tesla is allowing for the Semi currently. So we're now in a situation where if in fact we've stopped taking orders, are you able to ramp and deliver production consistent with having a robust Semi business, if you will? And the answer is, it's kind of hard to do that if you've stopped taking orders. And from what I can tell, the relative number of orders, something like 3,000 to 5,000, is kind of a low number currently. But obviously, as we have space in other factories around the world, the ramping of this could become more dramatic. So next, we'd like to move on to the fact that Tesla has been upgraded to a BBB, which is an investment grade rating. And so I'm actually really looking forward to the 3-day rule on this, because there's actually a pool of investors that have large dollars within institutions like T. Rowe Price, the Fidelities of the world, as well as John Bogle's former company. And now that Tesla is investment grade, those that consumers that have exclusively restricted their investments to these can now get in on it. So I expect this to be a nice little push on the stock, at least in the 3 to 5% zone up, but possibly more, because these are more people that can and will be investing in the company. Final note is, well, what's going on with Tesla now? This seems like good news, and therefore stock price should be getting a push. It's kind of hard when the market's trying to basically crash, because the job picture has been too strong, and the Fed's goal regarding raising rates has been to find a way to cause the job market to cool off and help in the process of inflation being tamed. So I just wanted to note that I believe that the nice positives to Tesla that we're discussing will play out, but Tesla isn't immune to what's going on in the markets, etc. currently. At any rate, this is Greg for Teslafaninsight. I want to thank you for joining us today. Tschüss, au revoir, lehitarot, choda hafez, drashishe, ni hao ma. Finally, we'd like to move back to one of our health tips for the day. Just a reminder, 25 leg lifts per leg every day with a 5-pound weight is recommended to strengthen your quad muscles, limiting the chance that you'll have knee issues. And we wanted to review that again with you. At any rate, again, congrats to Tesla on the delivery of the Semi. Have a great day, and bye for now.